President Obama made an unannounced visit to Afghanistan on the first anniversary of the death of Osama bin Laden. He met with American troops and signed a 10-year agreement with Afghan President Hamid Karzai. The deal outlines the future role of U.S. forces beyond the end of combat operations in 2014. The president explained the need for America's commitment from a military base near Kabul.
As we move forward, some people will ask why we need a firm timeline. The answer is clear. Our goal is not to build a country in America's image or to eradicate every vestige of the Taliban. These objectives would require many more years, many more dollars, and most importantly, many more American lives. Our goal is to destroy al-Qaeda, and we are on a path to do exactly that. Afghans want to assert their sovereignty and build a lasting peace. That requires a clear timeline to wind down the war. Others will ask, why don't we leave immediately? That answer is also clear. We must give Afghanistan the opportunity to stabilize. Otherwise, our gains could be lost, and al-Qaeda could establish itself once more. And as Commander-in-Chief, I refuse to let that happen. I recognize that many Americans are tired of war. As president, nothing is more wrenching than signing a letter to a family of the fallen. We're looking into the eyes of a child who will grow up without a mother or father. I will not keep Americans in harm's way a single day longer than is absolutely required for our national security. But we must finish the job we started in Afghanistan and end this war responsibly.
Joining us now from Washington, D.C. is Joe Williams, White House reporter for Politico. Thanks for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
Pretty bold move for President Obama. In his speech, the president said he recognized that many Americans are tired of war, but he added we needed to end the war in Afghanistan responsibly. Is the American public on board with maintaining a presence in that country until 2024?
Well, to call it a bold move is to say the least. I mean, anytime a president slips into what basically amounts to still hostile territory where action is going on, that's considered something that's a really eye-opener, the ultimate in show of force and in show of command. The problem that he's got in outlining this speech is that that's all it is. It's a framework. There are no clear details about how many troops will stay, what they'll be doing when they stay. The president alluded to some of that, but the goals and what those troops will be doing and how many of them who will actually be there remains unclear, and that's the part that's going to be a bit of a difficult sell to the American people.
Was it a surprise to you that he chose the one-year anniversary to be present in Afghanistan, to sign that new strategic agreement?
Well, if you talk to the White House, it wasn't a surprise. This had been long planned, according to them. This is just something that was on their to-do list. It happened to fall, just happened to fall on the bin Laden anniversary. But you can't separate it from the politics of the time. Certainly, we're in a very hotly contested election. A lot of the president's critics had been telling him that he had not been talking enough about Afghanistan. This is one bold move in order to do it, and to sign it in enemy territory or in territory that's still in conflict is supposed to demonstrate to the Afghan people that America still has their back and that it's not going to be a cut-and-run situation like the Soviets had in the 1980s.
So his presence there meant something?
It was symbolic, and it meant something. Beyond the symbolism, however, there's still very many open questions. Again, what the troop level is going to be. We know that they're going to be there for 10 years. This still exposes Americans to hostile deaths. What it does do, however, is reduce the footprint. There are not going to be any permanent bases. There's not going to be any large show of force, just strategic forces, they say, that will carry out small bore operations and support and train the Afghans when necessary.
The Pentagon, in a report on Monday, said violence in Afghanistan decreased 9% in 2011, but there are still long-term challenges. Now, how confident is the White House to be able to establish a stable and secure Afghanistan? Is that a reality?
It's a reality, but it's a reality up to the Afghans. I mean, we're basically shifting the responsibility for building a secure, stable country to the country itself. certainly that was the ultimate goal when President Obama took office, was to try to stabilize, nation build to a small degree or to a large degree, depending on where you stand. That's no longer possible because the country has just so many problems and it's an unstable region. And I think the White House's ultimate goal here is to stabilize it as much as they can, keep the presence of al-Qaeda and other militants to a minimum and keep it in check, and just let the Afghans do what they're supposed to do with their country, which is build it up, secure it, and protect it for themselves, not for the American security in the long run.
What was Washington's response to the president's unannounced trip and address last night?
Well, it kind of fell along party lines. The Democrats, of course, were very supportive. They thought it was, again, a great stroke to demonstrate that the commander-in-chief still is such. The Republicans were a little bit less enthusiastic. The middle-of-the-roaders, the anti-war folks, would say, let's just get out now. Why aren't we leaving at this very, very moment? Why do we still have to keep people there?
Will we be hearing more about this as the campaign season rolls on?
No doubt, no doubt.
All right. Joe Williams, White House reporter for Politico. Thank you.
My pleasure.